gotten myself ready. Judd is off doing something with the Law Enforcement Academy, and he'll be here later this afternoon with Harlow. A doctor came in today to tell me that since my appointment with my immunologist, who takes care of all my allergy, immunology, anaphylaxis problems, is tomorrow, they're planning to discharge me today or tomorrow so I can see her. While I agree it's important that I see her, I had a very hard night last night with 3 episodes of reactions that progressively got worse, and eventually they just had to give me epi because there were no other medication options. The night before I had serious anaphylaxis. I've had anaphylaxis 6 times since I've been here, 2 of which also almost resulted in me being intubated, and I'm having at least 2 other reactions that are controlled with IV Benadryl during the day. And honestly, the only thing preventing these reactions, all of them from escalating to anaphylaxis, is the IV Benadryl. So needless to say, after the doctor came in and I called Judd about this, we don't feel safe with me leaving, especially after last night's rough ordeal and the night before. So I called in my nurse, spoke to him about my concerns, and now he's going to speak to the doctor again. I'm planning to call because the doctor that came in was covering for the hospital's attending doctor. I don't know what it is with these attending doctors. They're like, get out the door, which I understand. I want to go home, but only when I feel confident and safe. And so I'm going to call the hospital's allergist, who I really like, and my immunologist to see if maybe she can talk to me over the phone, or we can come up with a safer plan. Because the doctor, the attending doctor who's ready to discharge me, I told him, well, I'm having reactions like 3 times a day. Without IV Benadryl, it goes to anaphylaxis. What am I supposed to do? He goes, well, you're going to have to come back to the hospital. I'm going to come back to the hospital. That's like guaranteed, especially since all of my allergens are outside. So, environmental stuff. So yeah, that is what we're doing now, and while I wait for that to happen, I'm going to eat breakfast. And they forgot my bacon, but the dietary tech is going to bring up some bacon for me. Okay, I just called my immunologist, and the receptionist left a detailed message with her and said that my doctor will call her back when she's in between patients, because obviously she has patients today. Hopefully we can come up with a safer game plan. So my nurse flagged down the attending doctor who was ready to discharge me and told him my concerns. I will be staying at least another night, but of course it's imperative I see my personal immunologist to get a handle on this. So I called my immunologist, and the receptionist said she'll call me back in between patients. I'm really hoping she can offer a phone consult, because that'll be much safer for me and I can stay in the hospital until I'm stabilized. And then I also called the hospital's attending allergist, who I really liked, and see if he has some feedback from their conference call yesterday early in the morning. And, or not yesterday, the day before. I learned that they want to start cromulin nebulizer, which is great. I've heard that a lot of people with mast cell have had success with cromulin nebulizer. Again, I don't even know if I have mast cell, but it's the most likely explanation. And we have it ready for pickup at Walgreens. We just have to get it and bring it here. The only problem is it can take up to 1 to 2 weeks to get into your system and start working. So do I stay here in the hospital those 1 to 2 weeks until I'm stabilized? Do we even know if it's going to work? Is that what we really want to do instead of Xolair and all that? So I'm just waiting for the doctors to call me back so I can know the real concrete plan of action. But starting to feel better about, not just getting kicked out and then having to use my epi and come back to the hospital right away. I've had a few people tell me that I'm being obstinate by not going home and as soon as the doctor mentions discharge, but that's not the case. I just know my body. I know when it's safe for me to go home, and right now it's not. So I'm being my own biggest advocate and playing it safe for me and my health, and that's what you got to do when you're chronically ill. You got to be your own biggest advocate and do what you know is best for yourself. Yay, they brought my bacon. Now my breakfast is complete. So I got a hold of my doctors. First was my personal immunologist. She told me she can't really direct any of my care while I'm here at the hospital because she doesn't have privileges at this hospital. She told me she isn't completely convinced that I'm having anaphylaxis because she hasn't witnessed an episode. And she also told me that she doesn't really know which way to go medication-wise until I come in to see her so she can do a physical exam, and she won't have a phone conference with me instead of an in-person appointment because she has to do the physical exam, which makes sense, but at the same time she also agreed I'm not completely stable enough to be discharged. So that was frustrating. Then I got a hold of the hospital's allergist, and he was a lot more reassuring to me. He told me that I am definitely having anaphylaxis. All of the doctors and nurses who have been present with all of my rapid responses and all of the episodes, the 6 episodes I've had since I've been here, have said, yes, it's anaphylaxis. My immunologist said it's very atypical for them to cluster like this, but the hospital's allergist said that my histamine and immune system are just very out of whack, and they do what they want, and that's why they cluster like this. It's unpredictable, and my immunologist also said that early administration of Benadryl cannot prevent an allergic reaction from turning into anaphylaxis, and the hospital's allergist said that, yes, I guess there's controversy with that theory, but for me it's proven that early administration of Benadryl can prevent an episode from getting bad. So I'm starting to really like this new allergist, and he gave me a lot of reassurance. We were looking at some medication options like cromulin nebulizer and Xolair, but he said he'd rather start those outpatient when I'm a little bit more stable, because he doesn't want to introduce the risk of extraneous side effects and possibly reacting to those new meds. So we're just going to give the oral steroids, the high doses of H2, H1, Singulair, and nebulizer treatments. More time to get into my system, which could be 3 to 4 days. So if I'm not better and ready to be discharged by Friday, we will reevaluate our plan. And he's going to call me every day on my cell phone or stop in to see me how I'm doing. So I'm really liking this new allergist, putting a lot of faith in him, so feeling much more reassured.
Harlow's here. Harlow. And Judd.
Gifts from afar.
This is my favorite chocolate.
Downstairs.
Had a reaction not too long ago, very minor, controlled with 1 dose IV Benadryl, but now I'm pretty sleepy, so I'm probably going to take a nap. So I'm eating some carrots, but Harlow's being super good, so I'm going to give her one. Harlow, want a carrot? Oh, yum. She loves carrots. I do too. I have been looking forward to playing Trouble all day. Prepare to be dominated. I'm good at this game. So I beat Judd in Trouble, but that was hours and hours ago. I've been having some symptoms with my stomach hurting a lot. It could be gastroparesis or just stress from being in the hospital, and I would not be surprised if it was stress. But dinner's here. We have some chicken and mashed potatoes. Gonna see if I can keep down the mashed potatoes because they're pretty bland. And yeah, we're just relaxing. Not feeling very well today, but at least we've only had one reaction, and it was a minor one, so that's good. So I think my favorite snack right here may be the culprit of my stomach problems. Raw vegetables. Yeah, not the chocolate cake. That's important. Raw vegetables are very hard to digest with gastroparesis, and I just, with everything else going on, I didn't even think about it, and I've been having raw veggies with pretty much every meal to get some good source of nutrition in, and so I'm going to stop, and hopefully that'll clear up my GI symptoms that have been worse since getting in the hospital. Again. Wait.
No, there's 2 straps.
SpongeBob, where like all the noises create a sound or a song.
There's no song. There's just noise and noise and more noise in the hospital. But at least Tar is handling it well. That's how you know you got a good service dog. They're calm, cool, and collected in all situations. And here's a carrot because you're being so good, and I can't have the carrots anymore. So today I officially missed my first class of the semester due to being ill, chronically ill, psych stats. I do have 2 classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, but you know, this Monday was MLK, so no school. Today, one teacher was out of town, so I only 1 class, but missed it. But the professor is going to work with me. Tomorrow I'm going to reach out to my disability student coordinator to see if I should consider possibly withdrawing, but I'm not behind right now. I just want them to be aware of the situation so we can be proactive. And that's that. Little stress there. Definitely don't want to take off a semester, but sometimes you gotta put your health first, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to keep my body safe. Well, finishing the vlog kind of early tonight because we're pretty tired. There's a lot of stuff happening today. It was a busy day at the hospital. So the plan is to give the H1 and H2 blockers, oral steroids, nebulizer treatments, some time to get into my system, hoping for a discharge of tomorrow or Friday. If things haven't improved by then, we will up dosages or consider adding other medications, but we want to wait till I'm outpatient and stabilized to add medications like maybe the cromulent nebulizer as a reaction preventative, or Xolair, maybe IVIG. The hospital's attending allergist, who I really like, is going to keep up to date with me and do personal phone calls each day or come to visit if he's able. I had my immunologist appointment tomorrow, but we're going to cancel that. I won't be making it, even if I'm discharged tomorrow morning. No way will I have the energy to go see her. And Harlow's been a very good girl. And yep, that's about it. Thank you so much for all of the love and support y'all are providing. We appreciate